Let him play out. Seductresses don't chase. A seductress does not fill the space with words or explanation or reassurance or even needing the reassurance from him. Because she knows the power that lies in what she doesn't give, in what she allows to exist quietly, the lingering eye contact, the soft presence, the way that she didn't reach too far or ask too much. It imprints in any man in ways that no rush or drama could ever. When I come to you and speak to you, what do you feel? Do you feel my presence? That is something that you should replicate when you're in the bedroom with this man. All stark naked. Come with presence. What presence are you bringing in? This is what I mean by presence. You can feel the sensuality in my voice. You can feel how my body moves. You can sense the aura. It is all sexual. How to make intense eye contact while making sweet love to that man. Look, the most dangerous thing that you could do to a man is not to touch his body. It's not what you do with your hips. It's not even what you do with your mouth. It is what you do with your eyes. See, when a man looks into your eyes while his body is open, vulnerable, unguarded, deep down inside you, you're no longer dealing with ego. You're dealing with the part of him that remembers, his joystick that remembers. That's why every time he's close to you, he gets a hard on. That's the part that you're dealing with. You're dealing with a part that bonds, the part that doesn't forget. See, sex excites the body, yes, but eye contact rewires the mind. Listen, most women don't realize it because we've been taught performance instead of presence. We've been taught movement instead of connection. We think that intensity comes from doing more, being performative, when real intimacy comes from being still enough to be seen. So when you're making sweet love, have it at the back of your mind that it is not rushed. Making sweet love is not acrobatic. It's not gymnastics. Making sweet love is not about proving anything. Listen, sweet love is when time stretches, when breathing sinks, when two people stop acting and start witnessing each other. And eye contact is a doorway. You don't stare. You don't challenge. You don't interrogate him with your eyes. All you do is invite him. You look at him the way you look at someone you trust to hold you, even when he is the one being held. You let your eyes soften. You let your lids relax. You let your gaze say, I see you, and I am not afraid of what I see. You know, most men are starved of that, right? Because men are looked at all day long, evaluated, judged, sized up, measured, but they are rarely seen, especially in moments where they're naked without clothes on or erect. Not just physically, basically, but emotionally. They're not being seen emotionally. So when you look at him during love, don't think about what you look like. Because the moment you start performing, that magic breaks. Instead, I want you to think about what you feel. Think about the warmth. Think about the closeness. Think about how rare it is for two people to meet each other without armor, without defense, without walls up. Your eyes should say, I want you to stay here with me. And here's a secret most women miss. You don't maintain eye contact the whole time because intensity is created through reason. You look and then you close your eyes and then breathe and then you open You open them slowly again, like you're returning to him. You see, that return, that's what makes his chest tighten. Because now he feels chosen. And when your eyes meet his again, I don't want you to rush away. Don't look away so fast. Let the moment stretch just 1 second longer than feels comfortable. Not aggressive, not needy, just present. See, men interpret that as safety. And safety is what allows desire to deepen into attachment. A man will forget positions. Oh, he will forget how gymnastic you are. He will forget how acrobatic you are, how flexible you were in bed. He will forget timing. He will forget details. But what he will never forget is a woman who looked at him like he mattered while his guard was down. Your eyes should never say, "Take me." They should say, "I am here with you, boy. I am here with you, my king." Now I'm going to tell you the difference. When your eye says, "Take me," that look is coming from a place of reaching. It's quietly asking for validation. It's asking for reassurance. It's asking for confirmation in the moment. And that's not what we're trying to do here. But of course, while that energy can excite a man, it also places pressure on him. It pulls him into performance mood, into ego, into proving something instead of allowing him to fully settle into the moment. Now, we don't want that. We want him bonded. When your eye says, "I am here with you, my king," the energy shifts completely. That gaze doesn't reach. It rests. It comes from groundedness, not need. It communicates presence without demand. It tells him, "I am not asking you to prove anything. I am not trying to get something from you. I am simply sharing the moment with you." And that is what allows a man to relax. Because this kind of eye contact creates safety. It invites him out of performance and into presence. It allows him to slow down, to feel instead of rush, to experience instead of finish. That's where bonding begins. Not because of what's happening physically, but because of how he feels emotionally while it is happening, while he's taking you, and while you're receiving him. "I am here with you" energy is rooted. It doesn't chase. It doesn't pull. It holds the moment steady. It says the moment exists because we are both present. Not because one person is seeking something from the other. That's confidence without hardness. That's softness without neediness. And that, my friend, is intimacy that lingers long after the moment ends. And this is why men don't forget women who master presence. You've got to master presence, my darling. That's the difference between lust and imprinting. Listen, when I come to you and speak to you, what do you feel? Do you feel my presence? That is something that you should replicate when you're in the bedroom with this man. All stark naked. Come with presence. What presence are you bringing in? This is what I mean by presence. You can feel the sensuality in my voice. You can feel how my body moves. You can sense the aura. It is all sexual. Do you understand what I mean? That is what you need to bring to the bedroom. Aura, presence, charisma. What makes sex different from an ordinary one? It's the aura that you bring in. Like you're a goddess, like you're a sex goddess. And you know how to seduce a man's soul. And you know, shyness when owned properly, is powerful. So you don't need to be bold. You don't need to be fierce. You don't even need to be dominant. All you need to do is to be real. Because a soft smile, a slow blink, a slow, a breath that deepens. These things just communicate more than words could ever do, more than what your body can ever bring to the table. So if at any moment the intensity feels overwhelming, I would urge you not to break it by laughing or apologizing or hiding. Just simply rest your forehead against his. You know what that does? It keeps the connection intact while letting the moment breathe. So remember, always have this at the back of your mind when you're meeting him, that intensity is not pressure. Intensity is attention. Okay? Intensity is attention. So when a man feels truly seen during intimacy by you, something happens. Something happens afterwards. He becomes a lot quieter, more thoughtful, more reflective. That's not distance. That's processing. His body may finish before his mind does, but his mind will keep replaying that moment. That replay is where bonding lives. That's where he remembers your eyes. That's where he remembers how you looked at him so intently with raw desire, like he wasn't just useful, strong, or needed, but he was chosen by you. This is why some men leave a woman's bed and can't stop thinking about her, even when the sex is over, even when the sex wasn't even wild, because she was present, because she didn't rush, and because she didn't hide. She wasn't ashamed of how she felt. She wasn't ashamed to show raw emotion. So I need you to know that eye contact is not manipulation when it comes from a place of sincerity. You're not trying to take something from him. You're offering a moment of truth. And the deepest form of seduction is not, hey, look at me, I'm performing, I want you to come. But it is, I am not afraid to let you look at me. When you allow that, truly allow it, you change the entire energy of intimacy. You move from being an experience to being a memory, from being a moment to being a reference point. Now, this is where I need you to stay grounded right after intimacy, because the moment is far from over. Yes, his body might have relaxed. He's in his refractive state right now, right? But understand that his mind is still very active. His mind is still processing, still absorbing. And this is when his nervous system decides whether the experience becomes fleeting or lasting. Because men process through feelings first, not words. Okay? Every subtle cue you give, the calmness, the stillness, the lack of pressure becomes attached to you in ways that he may never name, but he will carry with him when he's outside of your bedroom. So understand that silence after intimacy is where bonding truly forms. And this is where we get it wrong, because most women rush to feel it with words or laughter or movements, unintentionally pulling him back into performance mood. But when you allow the silence to exist, when your presence is steady and unhurried, you give him a rare experience of simply being. No expectation, no demand, and that is what creates attachment. So eye contact after intimacy, after the sex, is different than during the process. It should be calm, it should be relaxed, and it should be unsearching, not intense, not interrogating, not seductive. Your gaze should say, you are safe. Nothing is required of you. Because men live in a world of constant performance. They live in a world of constantly deciding, leading, producing. So meeting a woman who simply allows him to exist is rare. And rarity is simply unforgettable. This is why men become quieter afterwards. That quiet is not withdrawal. It is integration. It is his body may be done, but his mind is replaying the emotional tone of the experience. What he remembers is not details, but how it felt to be with you when nothing was demanded. That feeling becomes a reference point for which he judges other women. That reference point becomes the anchor of his attachment to you. So feminine power in this space is very subtle. You need to understand that. It is restraint, not withholding. It is allowing the moment to complete itself without forcing meaning. So when meaning isn't imposed, his mind creates it internally. And internal meaning tends to last longer than meaning that is asked for. So this is not when you start to ask, okay, so what are we now? Better still, never let that word come out of you. That silence is presence too. And presence without demand is alignment. You're not pulling him towards you. You're not playing that game. You are letting him settle into himself. And from that space, many men choose to return to you or not return to you. And it's up to them. So during intimacy, your eye says, I am here with you. After intimacy, your eye says, you don't owe me anything. That combination turns desire into attachment. It turns moments into memory. And it turns presence into something he cannot forget. This is the true feminine art of intimacy. It is understated, it is calm, it is present, and it is unforgettable. After all of that, a proper seductress does not chase. So you see all those questions that you ask, oh, so what are we now? You're chasing, baby, and that's where you get it wrong. Don't chase. You want to really know where both of you stand in that relationship, but darling, do not ask. Let him play out. Let him play out. Seductresses don't chase. A seductress does not fill the space with words or explanation or reassurance or even needing the reassurance from him. Because she knows the power that lies in what she doesn't give, in what she allows to exist quietly, the lingering eye contact, the soft presence, the way that she didn't reach too far or ask too much. It imprints in any man in ways that no rush or drama could ever. So when you do this, bestie, what you're doing is that you're giving him the memory without demanding acknowledgement. You're letting desire mature in his mind while you remain serene in your own energy. I think one of these days I will take our time to talk about being a seductress. Because a true seductress knows that what you do after the moment is just as powerful as what you do during it. The act of sex, the lingering gaze, the synchronized breathing, these are only the beginning. You know, I had read Robert Greene's book, In the Art of Seduction. It talks about the subtle power of absence, of leaving people wanting. He says, the ultimate seductress creates desires, not by pushing, but by allowing herself to be hardly unattainable, even after she has been fully present. So when you do not fill the space with words or reassurance, when you don't chase or explain yourself, you allow him to replay your presence in his mind time and time and time and time again. Every glance, every soft sigh, every moment that you called out his name when he thrusts deep down inside of you, every subtle motion becomes a ghost that lingers in his nervous system. Now, he thinks he left the moment behind, but it stayed alive in him. Because when you withhold, you're creating a vacuum that he instinctively wants to feel. When you let him sit in that silence, you're practicing what Robert Greene calls the art of indirect seduction. You don't announce your power, you let it whisper. Men are wired to respond to energy that is calm, grounded, and mysterious. And when you remain steady while he processes, he begins to assign meaning to you that he cannot basically or fully articulate. He doesn't just remember the physical act of having sex with you or making deep, sweet love with you. He remembers how it felt to be chosen, seen, and safe, all without you demanding anything in return. So when you hold your gaze after intimacy, so soft, unsearching, it signals control and confidence. You're saying, I'm here, baby. I saw you, but I am not dependent on your attention or your affirmation. That combination is lethal in its subtlety. It is deadly. Robert Greene calls it the seduction of presence, making a man feel that he has to earn your attention even after you've already given him the most intimate access. See, when you do this, you're not playing games, baby. We don't do that. You're orchestrating desire at a level that bypasses the ego. You're embedding yourself directly into his psyche. So when you move after intimacy, each gesture should feel effortless. It should feel deliberate and rhythmic. So do not find yourself explaining. Do not find yourself apologizing. Do not chase. A seductress leaves just enough space for longing to grow. Know that and know peace. And when you allow him to process, when you step into your own energy, you create an internal tension that Robert Greene described in his book as irresistible. He will return to that memory. He will replay it. He will crave it, not because you demanded it, but because you allowed it to exist and breathe. Listen, babes, when we as women master this restraint, we will no longer just be that woman in his life. You will be a standard. You will be a gravitational force. You will be the reference point to which every other woman will be compared and fail. Because when you act from this place, you embed yourself into his emotional and neurological wiring, and that imprint does not fade. It does not fade. That's the highest way of becoming a seductress. That's the deepest way to clench your claws on his heart. And here's the final truth, Bessie. I need you to know also that a proper seductress knows that obsession is not created through attention or pursuit. All right? You're not pursuing. You're not craving for attention. It is created through strategic absence, presence, and mastery of subtle energy. When you look at him, soft, steady, and unsearching, when you leave him to linger in the aftermath without explanation, when you allow the tension of desire to grow naturally, you become unforgettable, irresistible. He thinks of you. You're ingrained in his DNA, in his blood. You become a memory he cannot shake, a feeling he cannot name, a standard he cannot meet elsewhere. So understand that your eyes are the doorway. They are the quiet motivation to the most vulnerable part of a man. So when you look at him, really look at him, look at that man, look at your man when you're intimate, when you're him, you're not just seeing his body or his face. You're seeing the echoes of his thoughts, the unspoken desire, raw desires, the part of him that even he doesn't fully allow himself to feel. Now, when you make love and you hold his gaze, understand this, that you're mapping his inner world without words. So every flutter of his lashes, every subtle shift in his pupil, every breath that catches tells you exactly where he is emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And when your eyes meet his in those moments, those soft, intimate, fragile moments, he will feel understood in ways that few ever allowed him to feel, because eyes bypass ego defenses and, it speaks straight into the nervous system. And he cannot hide. He cannot perform. He can only be when he's being seen. And a good seductress knows this, because she knows that eyes imprint deeper than hands could ever. She knows that eyes carry memories, they carry longing, they carry attachment all at once. And when you hold that gaze, softly, steady, you're saying without words, baby, I see the sum total of you and I embrace it, all of you, even the parts that you don't show. That energy is intoxicating, because you're telling him that he's safe with you just as he is. And I bet you that energy is going to linger with him when you're even gone. It's going to be impossible to shake, and it will follow him long after the moment has passed. It will intertwine your essence into his thoughts, into his dreams, into his quiet moments. And here is the secret, right? You do this without need. You do this without reaching, without asking for where the relationship is headed to, who you are with him. You ask without acknowledgement. You let him feel seen while remaining grounded in your own presence. That balance, you witnessing without grasping, you seeing without consuming, is the difference between fleeting desires and permanent imprinting. And what we're trying to do is permanently imprint, mark our men. See, the part of him that feels recognized, choosing safe, and yet left wanting, will just basically replay that gaze over and over and over and over again. So when you infuse this soul level eye contact into intimacy, into love making, into making love, see, your making love will transcend the physical. It will be deep. It will become a bridge to his emotional memory. And you'll find out that he just doesn't remember how your body felt against his. He tends to remember how it felt to be fully known, fully witnessed, fully safe, and yet left with that delicious tension and longing. Your eyes, they're powerful. They are the ultimate tool of being a seductress. They're subtle, they're silent, they're utterly hypnotic. Why do you think that seductresses, they have this dark, oftentimes their eyeshadows are usually dark, so that the whiteness of their cornea, is it cornea that they call it, pops, and they play with it. Their lashes are usually very long, so that when you just lower your lids, then plus your red lipstick, fire. Because every glance you hold, every slow blink, every softening of your gaze just embeds your total presence into his nervous system. And this is not you performing. You're not even asking. And in that allowance, his desire deepens, his attachment just strengthens. And that memory of you, in that instance of how you are, your aura, your essence, is crystallized in his mind. This is why the seductress doesn't chase. She doesn't over-explain. She doesn't fill the space with any words or assurance, like I said earlier. She just simply sees. And in that scene, she becomes unforgettable, irresistible. She moves from being, an experience in his life to being a standard that he can never stop comparing other women to. Like, she becomes a reference point, the woman that he can't erase from his mind, no matter how hard he tries. And she might not be the most beautiful woman in the world. Do you get? But there's something about her that's really intriguing. So remember that your eyes are the doorway. Your presence is the magnet. And in the quiet, in the gaze, in the stillness, you become unforgettable. Not because you demanded it, but because you allowed it to exist. And that always, it's the true art of being seen by a woman. Okay? All right then. this is where we're going to wrap it all up. I hope you did gain one or two from here until I come your way. When I do come your way, do know that I love you and God loves you all the same. Now, and God loves you more. Not all the same, because God cannot love the way I love. I can't even love the way God loves. Anyways, happy holidays, guys. And I hope you did enjoy your Christmas celebration. Yeah. I couldn't post before Christmas to wish you guys Merry Christmas, but here is me wishing you, a happy New Year. Let 2026 be for you what you want it to be. All right. I'll catch you when I catch you. I'm still coming back. Oh, I have more episodes that I'm going to, throw out here before the year runs out. No leave, no transfer. We're working till 31st of December. I love you guys.